In the 250 division, finishing third for Troy Lee Designs Red Bull KTM, Jordan Smith. And in second place, riding for Monster Energy Husqvarna Factory Racing, Zach Osborne. And your winner, riding for Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki, Austin Faulkner. Congratulations, guys. This question's for all three of you. Zach, we'll start with you in the end, and we'll just work our way this way. This was your guys' first Triple Crown. You saw it at Anaheim early in the year, but this was your first chance to experience it. Just kind of take us through not only the day and the qualifying, but also through the three main events.
Yeah, I mean, when I watched it on TV, I was like, man, why is there so much downtime? And then tonight I'm like, holy crap, this is a quick turnaround. But I enjoyed the format. I think it's really cool. I think it's a good change, and it's a lot of racing. It adds another start, and you know, I don't think our mains are normally quite as ruddy and gnarly as what it was tonight. But all in all, I liked it. I thought it was a really good little deal.
Yeah, it was definitely quick, much quicker than it seems on TV. I thought it was definitely like, I wasn't really bummed with that fourth in the first moto because I knew it was just about consistency. Like the last time they had it, it was like 1-5-3 in that one. So like I knew that it just, if I could get consistent top fives or top threes, then I would be on the podium just with how kind of inconsistent at least the first Triple Crown race was. So that was just my goal, and got top five every moto. So that was good.
Yeah, like they said, it's a pretty quick turnaround. In between the motos, it's a lot quicker than it seems on TV, and that was pretty tough. The track was, I think, a lot better than the first Triple Crown, and it was pretty demanding tonight. It was a tough track. It got really rutted and pretty gnarly out there.
Brad Gebhardt, Big MX Radio. This question's for Faulkner. Take us through losing the lead on the second moto, and take us through like the relinquishing that lead, and then coming back from that.
About halfway in, I clipped a bunch of tough blocks in that first rhythm section after the start, and ripped my rear brake off. So I had no rear brake. So at that point, I was just trying to salvage as much as I could, and just, you know, I mean, I was just trying to finish the moto and try to get a top three. I knew Zach was coming, and I knew that Martin was coming too. So me and Zach ended up getting together, and then Martin just got me on the last step. There was really nothing I could do. He just had the inside, and I couldn't even stop. I almost crashed by myself just because I ran into the tough blocks. I didn't have a rear brake. So that one was tough, but just had to try to rebound from that, and I was pretty frustrated with that one, so I just kind of let that fuel the fire.
Doug Turney from GateDrop.com. This one's for Zach. Zach, in the second main, you're coming in on Austin there. Were you setting him up for a pass, or did you just kind of catch up to him a lot faster than you expected to?
When we came together?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen the video yet. I mean, I don't know really what happened. It was just unfortunate.
Ben Bridges, Super Stats. This is for Osborne. You had a heck of a night. You won the first race, then you went 3 and 5. You knocked down, kept getting yourself back up. Take us through the determination to keep that red plate.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even really about the red plate. It's just that's my style. I get up and fight for everything that's there, and it was unfortunate that I went down on the first lap in the last main. I had a decent start. My first two starts were really good, and just got tangled up in that one little pileup before the triple. And yeah, I mean, I managed to come back to fifth, but it was a little disappointing to lose it on the last lap. Just, you know, circumstances out of my control. But yeah, it is what it is. It's a good night, and I will just keep plugging away.
Jason from RacerX. Jordan, you actually had the overall lead in the third race. I don't know if you even knew that. And then take us through what happened in the second half of that one. You lost a couple of spots and ultimately ended up third.
Yeah, I didn't really know where I was at. The mechanics area was in a really tough spot tonight. I didn't see the pit board one lap today. It's out of a corner off 90 degrees to our left, and so I had no idea really where I was at. And I just didn't feel very comfortable tonight. I got a lot better starts than I've been getting this year, and then didn't ride as good as I did in the first 2 races. So, yeah, that was pretty frustrating. And then RJ caught me, and I didn't even really hear him behind me whenever he came up the inside, and hit his rear wheel and went down. And, it's just frustrating to ride like that whenever you're getting that good of starts. And it's always good to be up on the podium, but these are the two guys that are leading the points, and you don't want them in front of me. So it was tough out there, though. The track was really tough.
Steve Giberson, Vital MX. Austin, talk about the advanced math you were doing out there during the final main.
I knew that Zach had 2 points on me, so I had to have somebody finish between me and him, and I knew Jordan was 1 point behind me, so I had to beat him. I saw Zach down on the first lap. I was like right behind him when I almost got tangled up in that pileup too. So then I just tried to start working my way up through. I knew Jordan was somewhere up front. I didn't know where. I was just trying to pick my way up and try to get up to him, and got up to him, and then he went down with RJ, and I actually thought that I had it, and then Zach ended up getting Dakotas or Peters, one of the Suzuki guys, was back there between us, and then he ended up getting him. So my mechanic, like the only lap that I saw the pit board, he said go now. So I had to the last 3 laps basically just put it down to try to catch Hampshire, and that was my only chance, was to try to get him, and I made it happen in that long rhythm on the last lap. I was able to go 3 out of the turn and then table to table. So that was the fast line through that rhythm, I think, but it was definitely hard to get that. So my last 3 laps were probably my best laps of the moto, just because I had to go for it.
David Iser, DMXS Radio, guys. We saw the mistakes made in both classes. Can you talk about how the track deteriorated between all 3 mains and how that affected how you rode?
It was ruddy all day. I mean, it was kind of to be expected. I thought it would stay a little bit harder during the night show, and it was maybe a little bit harder. But yeah, it's just a proper racetrack.
What about traction? It seemed like there was a lot.
I feel like it was better than in the past. Like before, I felt like it got to a base and that was it. It was super slick. And tonight, I mean, even in our 3rd main, it was still pretty good, pretty tacky, and you could find some traction. All in all, I think it's definitely the best track that we've had to race on, as far as busy-wise and, a lot of things that could separate guys on every lap. So, moving forward, I hope that they're, busy like this each weekend. It's way more fun for us, and I think it's better for everyone.
Yeah, the track was really soft compared to years past that I've raced this race. Like, in the whoops, the jump line, like on the 2nd or 3rd lap, it got a huge rut in it, and it was just changing every lap. And you definitely had to be on top of, finding the new good line and the new ruts in the corners.
Yeah, I actually rode West Coast last year, so I have never really ridden a rutted track, a Supercross track. And you can't replicate tracks like this to practice on. So this is actually like the first race that I've had a rutted track, and I actually liked it. You could attack some of the turns harder when it was rutted than you could. I actually got more comfortable after that first race when it was kind of perfect and not really lines. I didn't feel that great. I didn't feel like I could push that hard. And after the lines got built in, I felt like I could lean into them and just go faster. So I liked it, but the whoops were definitely, they were chewed up bad.
All right, thanks, guys.